welcome to For Flow with Chloe, where today I have a new moon in Cancer themed class lined up for you, but it's also perfect for any time you're really looking to expand the heart chakra and do a bit of opening of the chest and some nice back bends. Cancer is a very emotional, intuitive and introspective sign. It's very loving and nurturing, and so I hope that we can awaken some of those nurturing vibes for ourselves through a lot of opening of the heart chakra. New moons are a fabulous time to manifest and set intentions, plant seeds, wishes and aspirations that we want to grow and to come into fruition or to blossom throughout the lunar cycle as we head towards the full moon. With this being a Cancerian full moon and Cancerians being such nurturing, loving and deeply emotional signs, I feel like it's such a good new moon to manifest our heart's desires. It's also a very important new moon because this new moon will reset the entire yearly lunar cycle. We've been in a reverse cycle, and this new moon is going to kick us back into the natural rhythm and the natural sort of flow state of forward movement. So I feel anything that we set as our intentions has some really good forward movement to it. And if there's any part of your life that you would like a full reset on, then what better energy to do it under than a full lunar reset. I today have on my new moon stone. So it's a black moonstone, and a black moon symbolises the new moon, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So how perfect. I'm going to read you a little bit from the astrology almanac by Emma Howarth on the new moon in Cancer. So new moon in Cancer, Friday the 5th of July 2024 here in the UK. London 2357, New York 1857, LA 1557, Tokyo 7:57 on the 6th of July, also in Sydney 8:57 on the 6th of July. Sensitive, caring Cancer is ruled by the moon, making this new moon the ideal time to really tune in to how we feel about life, love and the universe. Intentions focused on our homes and family life make sense when the moon is in Cancer, making now a great time to plan for the future. So don't forget to do some lovely manifesting on this new moon as well. I recommend doing your manifestations about 8 hours before the moon, just to really sink them in. New moon intentions for your sign. Let your intuition guide you this new moon. Aries, make a commitment that puts your family life first. Taurus, be brave enough to tell someone a few home truths. Do it kindly. Gemini, get clear on what's important to you and make a priority. Make it a priority. So make yourself a priority, Gemini. Cancer, trust your intuition on an important next step in your life. Leo, leave the past in the past once and for all. Virgo, join a community, club or group and stand up for a cause. Libra, set a career goal that can offer the work-life balance that you need. Scorpio, make a travel plan with a close friend or family member you need quality time with. Sagittarius, face up to a difficult truth that's holding you back. Capricorn, if you're ready to commit, make it happen. Aquarius, find a new and inspiring way to start your day. Pisces, step into the spotlight and enjoy your success. And always remember to take whichever of those messages resonate for you, because we do have influences of all of the zodiac signs within our charts, just more or less planets in certain aspects will heighten or amplify specific energies in your charts. We are not just our sun sign. Okay, so we're going to get on the mat and do some moving. Okay, so today we're going to start in our child's pose. So bending the knees, sitting on the heels, and lower the head and the torso down towards the mat with the arms outstretched. This is a little bit much in the back at the moment. You can come higher and be on the forearms or stack the fists and prop the forehead up and have a more of a squatted child's pose. So find where you're comfortable in your child's pose. I recommend a nice wide kneed one to give space for the chest. It's going to take some breaths and ground in, arriving on our mat. Cancer is the sign of the nurturer and the mother, so child's pose is obviously a great place to start for those nurturing, self-nurturing utero vibes. And where better to begin than with a new life, embryonic. When you're ready, we're going to bring the hands together in prayer and prop our arms up on the elbows, and then just lever the arms back and pull back in the shoulders, getting a nice stretch. Feeling this down the backs of the arms and into the armpit. See how far you can pull that prayer back behind your head. See if you can touch your neck with your thumbs. Get a nice deep stretch there. Flatten the palms back down and just walk the hands out to one side until you feel a deep stretch in the side body. Invitation to look under the armpit. Back towards the back of the room. Breathing into that stretch. Should feel it nice and deep through the side body and the armpit. I'm going to walk the hands the other way and repeat on the other side. Nice deep breaths, opening up that body. And walk the hands back round. Lovely. And we're just going to come to roll onto our sides. And prop ourselves up on the forearm. Bending the knees in this sort of little tuck leg position. And begin to open and close the knees in our clam legs. Just waking those hips up here. Getting nice and deep into that pelvic area. Lovely. And when you're ready, kick one leg up to the sky. Nice flat foot to try and open up that hamstring. So just stay here, kicking and bending. Option here as well to give the back of that hamstring a little rub as you do this. And then maybe hook the peace fingers around that toe and lever that leg back, if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, just stay with your kicks. Lovely. I'm going to sit up And swivel round to the other side, propping ourselves up on the elbow again and doing our clam legs again on the opposite side. All the time connecting to your breath. Inviting open his hips, and when you're ready, kick that leg up to the sky and keep kicking, bending. Maybe you want to do some more of those hammy rubs just to warm up the backs of those legs. Peace fingers to the toe, an invitation to stretch deeper. Maybe hold it here if you want to. And release. I'm going to roll all the way over onto our hands and knees, making sure our wrists are below the shoulders and the knees below the hips in our table, nice flat back. When you're ready, we're going to come into our cat-cow. So grip the mat with the fingers, give the mat a little squeeze. Inhale and dip the spine, looking up slightly in your cow. Roll through the shoulders and push the ground away, tucking that tailbone under, arching the spine in your cat, pulling in the navel. Inhale, dipping the spine, arching the spine, and rolling through the shoulders, pushing the ground away again in your cat, and flow on your inhalation into your cow and exhalation into your cat. Find your own rhythm. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. I'm going to take some thread the needles here, so I'm going to lift my right hand up to the sky, open it nice and wide, twisting through the shoulders, and thread that hand underneath the opposite arm, lowering the head down to the mat. It can be a forehead to mat, it can be a little bit off the ground here, or you can be like listening to the ground here with the ear, with the neck turned to the side. Palm connects to the ground with that arm that's threaded through. We're going to walk and tiptoe our fingers of the opposite hand forward to take that stretch in the shoulders a bit deeper. You should really feel this through the shoulder girdle and the upper back. Deep breaths here. Breathe into all of those muscles. If you would like to, try to lift the arm up towards the sky, obviously the one we're not squishing, and then bend the elbow and see if you can reach the opposite hip crease. And have a little deeper twist here. Wonderful. Point those fingers back up to the sky if you're here with me. Bring the hand back down to the mat and slide it back towards you. I'm going to take that on the other side. So back to your tabletop position. Inhale, the opposite arm up to the sky. This is my left side. Thread that left hand underneath. Maybe taking that ear to the ground. Maybe it's the forehead. If you have any neck tension, maybe just keep the neck straight. Walk those fingers forward, getting a deeper stretch into the shoulder. Really breathe, inflating that back in this twist. Balancing out both sides of the body. Lovely. Point those fingers up to the sky if you would like to. Maybe you stay here. Or maybe you bend the elbow and find the opposite hip crease. Deepening that stretch. Finding that bind. Breathing into it. When you're ready, unwind, rotate the arm back down. If you're still here, with the arm outstretched, then just slide it back towards you. And come back to your hands and knees. I'm going to stay up on the knees and dip the spine as we let the hands slide forward, both of them, allowing the chest and head to come down towards the mat, while the tailbone stays high in our puppy pose. Deep breaths. Maybe you can sink the forehead down to the mat. Maybe you can sink the chest down to the mat. Deep stretch through the armpits, the shoulders, and the spine. Melting that heart down, offering that chest down to the mat. Opening that heart space. When you're ready, sliding it back. Some nice heart opening there. Cancer rules the chest. Coming back onto the hands and knees. So we're going to have a lot of heart opening in this flow. Because of the Cancerian chest and heart chakra being in the chest. So nice heart opening, just rotating the hip open by cocking up the leg and rotating the knee down, round and behind. And then when you're ready, reverse the circles, working into those hips. Lovely, and we're going to switch it over to the other side. Cocking up that leg again. Bending at that knee and rotating that hip in the socket, in the hip socket. And reverse the circles. Beautiful. And step the left foot forward, stacking it, the knee over the ankle. You can have your block friends here. I'm just going to allow ourselves to sink deep, opening that hip flexor in our lunge here. Hold that for a moment. And then when you're ready, straighten out the leg and point the toes to the sky, coming into a bit of a half Hanuman shape. We're not folding all the way over the leg at this point. Just straightening out the leg, seeing how it feels. Then we're going to flow dynamically with the breath, lunging back and forward, bending and straightening the leg. Lovely. We're going to have 4 more of these. Connecting to the breath. Inhaling forward, exhaling fold. 3, 4. Fabulous. I'm just going to rotate my blocks round with me. I'm going to rotate round to find our straight leg, still up on the knee, but the toes are pointing back behind us. And we're just going to come up onto the heel of this foot with that leg outstretched and take your hands to your head. And we're going to bend and point our elbow down towards that knee. Then bend it and come into a bit of a kneeling warrior shape with the leg. So making sure that knee is tracking out. I'm going to twist and bring that opposite elbow down towards the knee, straighten it back out, and bend, and twist, and bend, and twist, and bend, and twist. Fab. Now we're going to rotate round. Maybe you want to find your blocks again and stick your leg out straight in your half Hanuman, and then sink into your lunge shape. I'm just going to flow through that cycle again as we do on the opposite side. Lovely, and rotate round on that knee, keeping this leg straight with the toes up to the sky. Taking the hands again to the head, and we're going to bend towards the knee, bend the knee, and twist that torso towards the knee. Straighten, bend, bend the knee, twist. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. I think I said 3, didn't I? Fabulous. And find that lunge shape again. And this time we're going to walk that foot out towards the short edge of the mat. Turn the toes out to point away from you. And just push the knee open as you twist, propping yourself up on your left hand, opening up that right knee, looking over the shoulder in your lizard. Option to stay here or kick the leg and the foot up towards the glute. See if you can reach back and grab hold of the foot and twist open any more, and lever the foot towards the glute. All optional if it's available to you. Wonderful. And rotate back. So walking that foot in. Coming back into your lunge. I'm going to take the arms up to the sky. Left arm's going to swim back behind and fold in the elbow and work it up so that it's becoming parallel with the spine at the back. And then reach behind with the other arm. Finding your cow face arms. If you find that's not quite reaching, you can take a strap and bridge the gap with a strap. Lovely. I'm just going to twist open, folding the arms out. Bring the hands to heart and twist the opposite way. Open the arms out behind. Lovely. I'm going to slide that foot back. Find the lunge on your left foot. Walking that foot out to the edge of the mat. Turn those toes out. Prop yourself up on your right hand this time as you push into and lever open your left knee. Fabulous. And kick, kick, kick. See if you can grab the foot and see if you can twist open deeper. Maybe you rotate out onto the knife edge of the foot, the blade edge of the foot, so you can go deeper. And pull the leg in, pull the leg in. if that's available to you. Lovely. Rotate back round. Hands on hips in lunge, kick that leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fabulous. And we're going to raise the arms up to the sky. This right arm is going to rotate back behind and wrap around and work its way up the back, and see if you can reach behind with the other arm coming into your cow face arms. If you're not quite reaching, you can grab hold of maybe the fabric of your clothing at the back, or you can give yourself a strap, so grab it in the hand on one arm and the other, and you can just bridge that gap with your strap. Fabulous. And have those hands at heart center. I'm going to twist, open, bring it back, twist, open, bring it back. Lovely. Slide that foot back, swivel on the knees, step, step, the legs, feet out about 1.5 legs distance apart, toes all pointing to the long edge of the mat. I'm just going to fold and hang here, grab opposite elbows and just sway. Cancer is a very internalized sign. It's quite private and introverted. Just going to do a bit of an inversion. Let's take our energy back within, send some energy to that third eye chakra. Cancerians are also very intuitive. Lovely. Plant one hand between the legs. You can also do this on a block. Then twist the opposite arm up to the sky and bring that arm down. Switch it over and twist open. Maybe you're on your blocks here. Maybe you can reach the floor wherever you are. Twist it open. You should feel a nice stretch through the backs of the hamstrings. Now see if you can send your right hand, bending the right knee ever so slightly. So if you can then send your right arm behind your right thigh and reach behind and see if you can find a bind here, and then twist the chest open towards the sky. So you should be trying to hold hands with yourself behind your back. Don't worry if this isn't accessible, you can just touch the floor instead and let the other arm reach for the sky. I'm going to send it the other way. So seeing if we can put a slight bend into that left leg as the left arm reaches behind. Sorry, the right arm, I've got my left and right mixed up. Either way, we're doing it on both sides, so it doesn't really matter. Finding the bind and twisting that chest open. Beautiful. Bring your hands to the mat or block, and then heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Your feet back together. And we're going to fold, maybe hug your arms and grab the opposite elbows behind your legs if you can. If this is a pinching through the hamstrings, then just have a soft bend in your knees and let the head hang. You can also be on your block here with a straighter back, or holding onto your block and letting the torso fold at the hips, so hinging at the hips, not straining or rounding the spine to get anywhere, and push up to standing in your mountain pose. Have a little wobble from side to side, get your feet grounded in. And squeeze the muscles of the thighs, tuck in the tailbone, stand nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale the arms up, overhead, trying to keep the shoulders slightly away from the ears. Maybe find your little love gun at the top. I'm just going to stretch over in our standing crescent to our right. And come to centre. Inhale and switch it over, pointing the love gun towards the left in our standing crescent. Fabulous. And come back to centre. I'm going to step the feet wide and turn out both sets of toes. Hands can come to the hips here. Tucking in that tailbone as we bend the knees, tracking those knees open and dipping down, squatting down into our goddess. Maybe you want to lift the arms up overhead here. Fabulous. Keeping the set of toes where it is, bring the other set to face the long edge of the mat. Open the arms out, have a little reach behind, and then reach right forward with your left hand and begin to hinge into a bit of a side bend coming into your triangle. You can use the back of your hand to press into the thigh or the leg, any way down, or maybe you can reach the ground here. Invitation also for a block here in your triangle. If you're happy here, maybe you can look up at the fingers. Lovely. Windmill that arm down, keeping those sets of toes on the left leg as they are. Back foot points out at 10 past 12-ish. Drop the knee of the right leg down to the mat, finding your lunge. Sweep your arms up in your Anjanasana, inviting that chest open, inviting the moonlight into the chest. And straighten the leg, point the toes to the sky, fold if you can over that leg, try not to hunch in the spine, plant the foot back down. Option to have your blocks here and rotate. You can keep this foot planted like so, or rotate up onto the heel and sink, keeping that knee bent and stacked to the ankle. Maybe you can come with your hands at prayer in your Skandasana. Maybe your Skandasana is higher and your foot is planted. Wherever your Skandasana is, well done. We're going to shift the weight over into your Skandasana on the opposite side immediately. Then rotate that opposite hip down towards the ground, finding that Anjanasana leg, but shifting it back into our half Hanuman, planting that foot back down, sweeping the arms up overhead, opening the chest, inviting the moon. Bring the hands back to the mat. Plant that back foot. Foot is pointing at 10 to 12. Bring the hand to the inside of the foot or your block and open the chest out, making sure that chest is really peeled open. Arms are parallel, maybe look up the hand to the sky, inviting in that new moon cycle. Power up. Rotate both sets of toes back out. Maybe shuffle it in a bit. Tuck in the tailbone, pull in the core, and sink into your goddess. Maybe you find those goddess arms here and back up. And we're going to step over to the opposite edge of the mat and find our standing crescent moon again. Inhale, lean over to the right, left. Inhale, lean over to the right. Back to standing. Open it out. Sink back into your goddess. Doing whatever you like with your arms. Sweeping it back open. Turning the left toes to the long edge. Reaching behind, reaching forward. Or tilting into your triangle. Windmill the arm down, rotate that foot out slightly, coming into your pyramid, option to fold here. Drop the knee. Arms come up. Opening the chest in your Anjanasana. Straighten that leg, have a little fold here in your Hanumanasana. Rotate out, finding a Skandasana. Hands come to the mat or blocks, shift it straight back over. Skandasana on the opposite side. Rotate that hip and knee down to the mat. Pull back, Hanumanasana. Find that lunge by stacking the knee over the ankle. Inhale, the arms open and the chest up to the sky in your Anjanasana. Plant the back foot out slightly, straighten the front leg. Come into your flat back pyramid or fold into your deeper pyramid. Hand comes to the inside of the foot or onto your block. Peel that chest open. Look up to the sky, the fingers in your triangle. Slight bend in the knee as you come back up to standing. Rotate both sets of toes out. Sink into your goddess. Power back up. Beautiful. Now just step that left foot in a little bit and get a soft bend in the knee. Some of you may want your block here. We're going to shift into our half moon. So as if you're going to come into a warrior, bending that knee slightly, opening the arms out, and then allowing the foot to lift up off the mat. Find one unmoving point and reach for your block. Remembering your dristi, your gaze. Maybe you can reach the floor here. Bravo. Kick the back foot out powerfully behind. And if you would like to come out, or you can rotate your hand down to the ground and twist into your revolved half moon. Fancy. Bring the hand back down, push back into your half moon, bend the knee, drop the leg, come back to center. Fabulous. We're going to try that on the opposite side. Point the left toes to the front of the mat, rotate the other set out, and find that bit of a bend in the knee, remembering if you need your block on one side. Otherwise we're going to open the arms out, put the weight into the ankle, grounding that standing leg powerfully, finding the ground or your block, kick that back leg out powerfully to the back of the room, invitation to float back out, embrace any wobbles, or keep kicking that back leg out behind you powerfully and rotate and twist. Keep kicking behind in your revolved half moon. Fingertips come back to the mat or the block. Open back out to your straightforward half moon. Soft bend in the knee, land that foot back down, hopefully with grace. Give yourself a clap for any fabulous fallovers or fabulous floats that you did. And from here we're going to sink down into our yogi squat, our malasana. So bending the knees, sinking the tailbone. Maybe you want to rotate the feet out a little bit. You have more flexibility in the feet, in the hips, sorry, then keep them a little bit more pointing to the ground. Come down as far as you can, and when you're comfortable, push the knees out with the elbows, tucking that tailbone under, nice flat back. So maybe you're up here, or maybe your bum's all the way down to the ground. Wherever you are, fabulous. Nice deep breaths. Really opening those hips, and then see if you can push the elbow and the back of the arm into the knee and take the other one away, and open the arms out to the sky and back to your heart, and switch sides, pushing that opposite leg open with the back of the arm, and hands to heart center again. Maybe you want to try that again, or maybe you want to have a little wiggle around and come into some higher up Skandasanas again, or open it up, swim both arms behind, see if you can find a bind, and hold hands with yourself, and look up at the sky. Fabulous. Again, you could use a strap here to find the bind, similarly to how we did in those cow face lunges, but we could have the strap here. Fabulous. Bring the hands to the mat and swivel until you're on your hands and knees. You're going to sink back, wide leg, child's pose. Bring that head back down to contact the mat if you can, or remembering any other variations you might want to do of your child pose here. Take some deep breaths, inflating the chest. Beautiful. And we're going to ground into the fingers and push up on the toes and hold in the stomach. Squeeze the glutes in our plank. Shift it forward, shifting the shoulders slightly past the fingers. Lower the knees, lower the chest, lower the chin, arching that back in your knees, chin, chest. Hold it here a moment. Inviting the opening in the back. Pull it through, pushing it up, squeezing those elbows in a soft bend in your cobra, and bring those hips back to a seat. Just sit for a moment here. And swim the arms open and see if we can come into a reverse prayer. Option here instead to grab opposite elbows and just puff the chest open. Now push up onto the knees and squeeze them together. I'm going to twist open and lower the hips. Close the arms, twist open, lower the hips, push up, clap, open, lower, up, clap, open, lower, up, clap, open, lower, up, clap, and sit back down a moment. Option now, if you have a strap, to sit back on the toes and just get some of your hip weight into those toes, wakey wakey toes. Take your strap, wind it taut, slightly a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart. If you don't have a strap here, you can do some shoulder rolls or individually windmill the arms back and forward, round and round. Otherwise, taking the strap up overhead and lowering it behind. You can also do this with any ordinary belt, just be mindful of the buckle, or a dressing gown belt will also do. Just getting a little bit more shoulder juice there. Lovely. Lean forward, drum your toes out, and sit back again on the feet. Option now to come into your camel, so coming up onto those toes, grabbing hold of the heels and push the foot hips up and forward, opening that chest, shining it up to the sky. Option to let the head hang and lower the feet to flat here. If you have any blood pressure issues, maybe don't hang the head so far back. Push the hands into the lower back and slowly release your camel, sending your hips down. Or for an extra challenge, you can take hands to heart and lower your hips back down. Fabulous. Now we're going to slide all the way down to the mat, onto our stomachs, and cross our hands and our forearms, and let our head have a little rest on the backs of the hands. You can stack it up higher on fists if you want a bit more space here. Just breathe. And when you're ready, taking these hands from their forward position, we're going to inhale the chest up and open, pulling the elbows back as far as you can behind yourself, really engaging the glutes, squeezing the leg muscles, and lower it back down, really engaging the entire back body. Also pulling that core up and in whilst you do this. Now we're going to lift each leg, pointing the toes and kicking each leg alternately up to the sky. 1, inhale, exhale it down. 2, kick it up, inhale, exhale it down. 3, kick it up, inhaling, exhale it down. 4. Lovely. Make sure you've done evenly on both sides. I'm not sure quite what I was counting there. Lovely. And when you're ready, see if you can reach the hands back behind you. Maybe you can get as far as this. If you can, see if you can clasp the hands together and make a fist. If you can do this, fab. If not, just keep the arms reaching out back behind you with intention, or you can come into those W-shaped arms we were just doing. When you're ready, we're going to lift the arms and the legs and the chest all up off the ground into your locust, pointing the toes back towards the back of the room, pulling the fist back, opening that chest, and lower it all down. Exhale and go forward. Maybe stretch your toes out a little bit back the other way if you've got any cramping in your toes there. And let your head rest back on your hands. Lovely. We're going to come up onto the forearms now. So just propping our chest up. So I've got a bit of a mini back bend going on here, as if we were in our sphinx, if we had the forearms out straight. We're going to kick a foot towards the butt and see if we can grab that foot and pull and push the foot down towards the glute. Doesn't have to be as low as mine. Switch it over. just as far as feels comfortable in your body. Just lengthening the fronts of those quads. Lovely. And we're going to lower it back down again. And this time, I'm going to kick both feet towards the glute, get the heels as far towards the glutes as possible. And then we're going to inhale the chest up and see if we can grab the ankles or maybe further down towards the shin. If you can do this, maybe just see if you can reach. Breathe. When you've got your grip, after 3, 1, 2, 3, lever the legs back and lift up the chest, coming into your bow pose. Fabulous. And lower it back down. And have a little rest, crossing those arms under the head again. Fabulous. Now you can continue to rest here, or you can have a go at going deeper and doing a flip the grip bow pose, or you can roll over onto your side and come and wait in your staff pose and just have a little rest here. If you would like to have a go at coming into the deeper bow pose, so walk the feet out a little bit wider than the edge, well, about as wide as the mat, and push into the toes a little. So you've got your feet slightly wider than the hip distance apart. Coming up on one forearm, we're just going to do one side at a time first, practicing the flip the grip thingy. So push down into that forearm, and then with the same arm that you're going to grab the foot, try to grab the foot, get a solid grip on it. You might want to put some fingers between the toes as well. So the fingers should be hooking around I've got my thumb around the blade edge of my foot, and then my fingers are wrapping round in towards the instep. And then push up and point the elbow to the sky, and see if you can lift and kick that leg up. See if you can rotate it and pull it closer to the head and pop it down. I'm going to try that on the other side, so make sure your foot is out towards the outer edge of the mat, so your feet are just a little bit widen the hip distance. Push up into the forearm, bringing it across sort of towards the centre of the mat, planting that palm. Kick the foot towards the glute, grip onto that foot, same as the other side, and kick up. So sort of rolling onto the opposite hip, kicking the leg up. See if you can pull it towards the head and lower it down. Lovely. So have a go playing with your rotating up and flipping that elbow up towards the sky. Then I'm going to go in for a strap method. So we're going to get our strap. I've got a double-ended strap here. So I've got 2 metal secure attachments. You can just knot a loop into one end of your strap if you've got a single-ended strap, or like with just a long piece of fabric, you could just tie 2 loops with a knot. So that you've got 1 loop at one end, 1 loop at the other. And then kicking the feet, looping the strap on, and on the other side. And you're going to try playing around with pulling that foot towards and rotating here. You can even have a go doing it one side at a time here and getting used to that rotating the elbow up to the sky motion. Otherwise, we're going to grab both ends of the strap and kick and pull up. Don't forget to breathe and lower it all down. So see if you can do that, putting the whole pose together. So you're using your arms to pull up and round as you kick the legs up. So you're levering the feet forward and up, kicking up to the sky. Now that we've practiced that gripping and flipping on each side, I'm going to try and put the whole thing together. This I find is probably the more challenging bit, is being able to grip both feet at the same time. But just have a go. And then kick up. Keep breathing. Rotating those arms, and when you're ready, lower down. Maybe stretch out those toes. And just lie here horizontally for a little bit. Getting your breath back. And when you're ready, roll over and come to seat in a staff pose. Sitting nice and tall with a nice straight spine here. Just neutralising all of that back bending. When you're ready, we're going to slide one foot towards us and give our leg a bit of a hug. When you're ready, cross it over the other leg. Swim your left hand back behind you. Sorry, my right hand that is again. I still don't know my left from my right. Inhale the left arm up and then see if you can bend it and latch it on to the outer knee. You can stay here in your half Lord of the Fish. You can stay hugging your leg if that's where you want to be. Or you can see if you can bend the knee and scooch the foot towards the opposite hip, pushing that other knee out still. See if you can thread the arm through the hole in the leg, and then with this other hand, reach behind and see if you can grip fingers with yourself and hold hands with yourself behind your back and twist. And look over the shoulder in your bound Lord of the Fish pose. Untangle and wind and slide it all back out with the legs straight. Beautiful. So bending the left leg now. I'm going to cross it over the right leg, flexing that opposite leg and flexing the toes up to the sky. And swim the left arm behind us and twist and look over the shoulder. Inhaling the other arm, the right arm up, bending the elbow, and see if we can rotate round more. You can stay here in your half Lord of the Fish or having a leg hook. or walk and scooch that foot back round like we done on the other side towards the outer hip. See if you can thread that hand through. You can probably see this better now on this side. Swim that arm behind and shake hands with yourself. If you can do that, fabulous. Wherever you are, fabulous. Lovely twisting, lovely stretching. And unwind. Support yourself again with that back arm. And open back out. And slide the legs back out straight. Sitting nice and tall again. Then lift the arms. And hinge at the hips. Folding forward. See if you can grab anywhere on your legs or your feet. And relax and let the head hang. Loosen the grip now into total relaxation in this fold. Sinking deeper with the breath, reversing all of that opening, closing back down, coming back down to earth, internalizing, going within. And when you're ready, slide out. Bend the knees, sending the hips sliding forward, lowering down onto the forearms and rolling down onto the back. Taking some breaths and hugging the knees towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Pull the tailbone down towards the mat. And rock from side to side, massaging that tailbone. See if you can make more of a ball, lifting the head and having a squeeze. In a sort of upside down child's pose. Lovely. And then let the hips, the knees, sink to the mat as the hips rotate. Pulling those knees down to wherever they want to go to. Relaxing. You could be looking down the opposite arm in our supine twist. Lovely. Plant the opposite hand. Rotate the knees up to centre again. Cross the opposite ankles. And allow those knees to flop down. And the hips to rotate, twisting it out, inviting the shoulder to sink down towards the mat. Maybe popping any cushions under the knees or any other area for support. And rotate the knees back to centre. Lowering the legs, letting them go long and lying flat in our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Connecting to your natural breath. Thanking yourself for a wonderful practice. Really opening the front of the body, opening the chest, opening the heart. And while you are here, I invite you an intention. An intention you would like to manifest on this new moon cycle. Any energy you would like to invite to blossom. Bring your hand to the heart and one to the lower abdomen. Maybe picture what it is that you would like to unfold in this coming lunar cycle. What wish you would like to make on this new moon in Cancer. What reset would you like to have? This new moon in Cancer will reset the lunar cycle. We've been passing through a reversed moon cycle for quite some time now, and this new moon will reset the rhythm back into its natural order. So what would you like to bring in to this new cycle, this reset, this new awakening? When you're ready, finish your imaginings, finish planting your seeds of hopes to be. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, wiggle your wrists and your ankles. Maybe have a big stretch. And roll on to your side. I'd like to thank you for joining me today in this Cancerian themed, got my hair caught in my necklace there, in this Cancer themed yoga flow. I hope you had fun expanding the chest, opening the heart, making any manifestations, inviting in the new lunar cycle, or just trying something new. Thank you for watching for Flow with Chloe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Namaste. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.